Good evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I am Tamiru Nimsad. Let's have a look at the headlines. Restrictions on vehicle imports will be reconsidered, State Minister Siyambalapitiya says. The divestment of telecom is in the offing, despite the opposing views, President's Media Division stresses. News in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that Sri Lanka has to establish a system which would allow maximum number of students to pursue education within Sri Lanka with the incorporation of technologies such as artificial intelligence. The President expressed these views at the Committee of Vice Chancellors and Directors Excellence Awards at the Bandaranaike International Memorial Hall recently.
We have about 170,000 qualifying for the A-levels. We have 40,000 getting the universities here, another 30 to 40,000 going to universities abroad. So that's the difference. So there are another 40,000 of which I would say 25,000 to 30,000 would be prepared to enter Sri Lankan universities. We haven't got the resources. Secondly, the government makes money available to fund the students getting higher education. But then we find there's another group of students equal to the number in the universities who are going outside and paying money. So is this the best way we have? We have to preserve one right, which is in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, universal access to education. Look at the best system available for the maximum number to get their education. Standards. Where are we now? When I went to the university, our universities were high up in the list of Asian universities. How does the state universities function with disruptions, with vice chancellors getting assaulted? That cannot happen, I think, at some stage, and we have to face these issues and resolve it. There's no other way to do it. So these are serious issues that we have to think of. If we don't tackle these issues, you are going to face serious problems of the university education. What is a university? How do you educate? You have the social media, you have the online, you have AI, you have ChatGPT, which people use for exams and some for their postgraduate research. So can these brick and mortar institutes suffice, or are we to use the technology?
President Wickremesinghe also said that Sri Lanka should be able to position itself to cater to the educational needs of neighboring countries that are growing in terms of both population and income levels.
If you look at the population of this South Asia in 2050, India will have about another 3 to 400 million, maybe going up to 1.7 billion. And the poverty level will decrease and better income numbers will increase. This will happen in Bangladesh, Pakistan, and in Myanmar, and in the East African nations. Now, all of them can't be building universities. India will have nothing else to do if they are going to provide education for all that. So either they'll use the other techniques, so we have to be sure of that. But if we have sufficient number of universities, we can cater to some of them from those areas. Now, they are catering to our needs, but there may come a time when we have to cater to their needs. So these issues we have to think of, because the structure of the universities will no longer be the same. There's a big debate originally about the first university in Ceylon, whether it was to be residential or not. So it took the Oxford-Cambridge model, and that's the structure of the Peradeniya University. But if you look at the newer universities, halls of residence are no longer there. Now the question is not whether there are going to be halls of residence, whether there will be halls for lectures. We have to think of address these issues and find solutions, because we have appointed a cabinet committee on education, which are going into all the issues. So I thought I'll mention to you all what are the questions that we will be posing to you.
The President recently reviewed the progress of initiatives within the areas of legislation, institutional activities, land issues, prisoner release and power decentralization. The President made this review at a discussion convened to address the action plan for reconciliation in Sri Lanka at the Presidential Secretariat recently.
During the meeting, the President instructed the relevant departments to expedite the drafting of legislation necessary for the implementation of the National Reconciliation Plan. Matters addressed during the meeting were the implementation of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, the establishment of a National Land Council, and the formulation of a national land policy. Furthermore, President Wickremesinghe instructed the relevant parties to complete establishment of the Office of reparations and the Office for National Unity and Reconciliation within 3 months. The President also emphasized the urgency of taking immediate action to settle land-related issues and tasked the officials with devising effective mechanisms for their resolution. The discussion also covered topics such as power decentralization, provincial level development plans, and the appointment of provincial ombudsman.
Stay tuned, we will return after this commercial break.
Connect with the National Business Directory by SLT Mobitel. We are connecting businesses with their existing and potential customers to reach heights, helping at every point. Getting your business listed with the directory locally is the foundation of local SEO and the first step to acquiring more customers. Your true local search empowered through printed directory, digital directory, mobile app, ebook, call center 1212. SLT Mobitel, the connection.
IWS Aviation.
Welcome back after the break. The State Minister of Finance, Ranjit Siembalapitiya, implied that the government is likely to resume vehicle imports to boost tax collection. The State Minister said this speaking in Parliament held on 9th of this month.
State Minister Ranjit Siembalapitiya states that a proposal would be made to develop a system in which all payments for automobile imports may be completed in the country where the relevant import takes place. The State Minister also said that a report on increasing tax receipts and safeguarding the exchange is presently being developed and the pertinent suggestion is ready to be included. He said that the customs ordinance will be changed to enable the commodities held at customs due to various legal concerns to be released on bail during court proceedings. According to the State Minister, over 600 vehicles and many more goods have been detained by the customs following various legal procedures. Siembalapitiya also said these imports have been made under 100 companies from 68 countries. The State Minister further said that the value of imported vehicles during the period is 1,331.5 billion rupees and the tax revenue collected by the government during the 5 years was over 990 billion rupees.
The University Grants Commission and the World Bank collaborated to foster the knowledge exchange, explore collaboration opportunities, and showcase recent advancement in higher education of South Asia. A two-day event and forum under the banner Regional Cooperation for Higher Education Development Options for the South Asia region were held on the 6th and the 7th of this month at a hotel in Colombo.
The presentation of the World Bank report on regional cooperation for higher education development options for the South Asia region was the key focus of the event. The initiative brought together distinguished delegates from the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation countries. Key representatives from the World Bank were present to contribute their expertise and insights. The event achieved its objective of bringing together leaders from the South Asia region and officials from the University Grant Commission and the Ministry of Education to explore collaboration opportunities. Subsequently, the delegates visited the University of Colombo to understand higher education developments supported by the World Bank's Accelerating Higher Education Expansion and Development Operation. These developments have brought about significant innovations, particularly in areas such as enrollment expansion, teaching, learning, assessment, and research and development.
The government stated intentions to press forward with the restructuring of Sri Lanka Telecom, disregarding the opposing recommendation put forward by the Sectoral Oversight Committee on National Security. The government unveiled its intention through a special statement released through the President Media Division recently.
The committee had informed Parliament that divestment of Sri Lanka Telecom could expose the country's strategic communication infrastructure. It warned that revelation of sensitive information to private companies could pose a threat to national security. The Committee of National Security was chaired by SLPP MP Sarath Weerasekara. However, issuing a statement, the President's media division said that the statement lacks a logical or scientific data analysis pertinent to the subject matter and indicated its intention to continue with the process. The statement said it is necessary to examine the operation and regulation of information and communication technology service providers in Sri Lanka. The government said it assures that the policy decision taken will not compromise national security, contrary to what is indicated in the report. The government will take a final decision during an upcoming cabinet meeting considering this report along with recommendations from the information and communication sector.
Stay tuned for the stock update.
Connect with SLT Rainbow Pages, your true local search.
Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today. The all share price index gained 54.81 points to close at 9069.64 and the S&P SL20 gained 21.4 points to close at 2569.74. The turnover was 1.5 billion rupees and over 116 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook.